And hello, welcome to Sim Games TO. Look at the waterfront of a real-life city build of Toronto. It looks like a disaster. So today I'm going to use the scariest word to every city Skylines city builder: rebuild. But that is exactly what we're going to do, because this is not what I want our waterfront to look like. I'm going to start by dezoning all of the industrial areas so that all of those buildings will despawn, because we don't want them there. I certainly think that the waterfront can be made to look a lot better, especially for tourists that arrive here by plane, boat, bus, and rail. So I'm going to start by removing all of those industrial buildings along the shoreline that are just awful. Then after that, as I wait for those to despawn and for the land to depollute, I'm going to use the vanilla landscaping tools to smoothen out the shoreline to give it a nicer and more natural looking feel. I'm also going to go ahead and add in an elementary school, since there's now going to be residents living here. I'm also going to place some Toronto assets from the steam workshop along the road here to make the city look more realistic and to make it more attractive for tourists to visit. I'm a bit tight on space, but these buildings are going to nicely tuck away the highway from view. I'm intentionally not placing any buildings on the south side of the waterfront road, as this will give the shoreline a nicer look and blend the city better with the shoreline. My plan is to make this a tourist strip along this part of the lakeshore that is going to be mixed in with some residential, commercial, and office zoning. Once we are done, I think that the waterfront will attract a lot of tourists, as we have a lot of public transit and intercity transit infrastructure available. In this case, the waterfront is surrounded by transit, with Union Station to the north, the Jack Layton Harbour to the south, and the Toronto Billy Bishop Airport to the west. And if that's not enough, we also have Union Station that is connected to the Metro and the 509 Lakeshore Streetcar, as we call them here in North America. But if there are any Sims that still can't get to the waterfront with ease, there's always our taxi services. I'm going to place a bike path on the south side of the road, and then below that I'm going to put in the path for the Quay Park. This will give it the waterfront park look and feel that I'm going for. I'm going to be using the Move It model lot to place these exactly where I want them to go, because precision is going to be key. It would not be possible to make this a vanilla build. Then once I'm done tweaking and setting up these two paths, I'm going to start working on the trees. I've selected darker green and bushy trees to place along the waterfront. These are going to give more shade and a better contrast, I think. I'm going to place them around, a bit sparsely and then also a bit spread out, just to make them look more realistic. A park area has trees in small groups and spread out generally and don't look like a forest. A lot of the residential and commercial buildings have now spawned along the strip. So now I'm going to extend the park area and the park itself to reach along the entire stretch of the waterfront here. I'm also going to set up the park so that it has celebrate and night tours on. This way the park will have fireworks at night and be open 24 hours a day, which is exactly what we want to have in a downtown tourist park. This goes hand in hand with our downtown leisure district. It is also time to place in some more park amenities to make our park more attractive for Sims to visit. I would like to get this park to a 5-star park, so I'm going to make sure that we have an entertainment score of 1,120. Then it will just be a matter of people visiting the park for it to level up. This will make the area even more attractive for Sims to visit. Putting the trees right along the shoreline and below the path will give the area a better look, and it makes the open areas look a bit larger too. So that is already looking much better than before. As a city builder, I think that I would much prefer to have this nicer looking waterfront for people to see, rather than those industrial buildings we had along the waterfront before. I'm going to place some more commercial zones in the center there. This is a good location to place these, as it is right next to the harbor for tourists to visit, and it is also a central location for residents to visit as well. Residents and tourists alike will both be able to walk and bike to this location. I'm going to continue on the west block here and do the same thing for this block as well. I will make the north block high-density residential to get multi-story buildings here that are suitable for the downtown district. I'm also going to extend the park's pathway below the road and cycling lanes. I think that on this block I'm going to place high-density residential buildings on the south side of our Lakeshore Road because I think it's going to look better. I would like to make use of the very high land value here, and level 5 high-density residential buildings pay the most amount of taxes, giving our city some more revenue. I'm also going to extend this road across the water here so that Sims can have easier access to the airport. It will also make it easier for vehicles to get in and out of the island airport. I expect that we will see an increase in visitors to the waterfront from this airport once we have completed this revitalization. I'm also going to add in a few more tourist attraction buildings here in the downtown to give it a better and more realistic look. This will also scatter tourists around the city more evenly. Now we can see that most of the buildings have spawned, and the waterfront is just about done. You can also see that many Sims are walking about their business, and there is a light to moderate but steady street and sidewalk traffic. So Sims are definitely going about their business and tourists are definitely starting to visit the area. I'm also going to double check the Union Station hub to make sure that everything is still connected there properly. I think that one of the things that makes the city look good is a really attractive waterfront that is set up well for residents, businesses, and tourists. And of course, we cannot forget transit, and in this case, the center of our downtown and waterfront is also the main hub for our city's transit network. Sims are able to connect into the city with all forms of mass transit, and then connect to our public transit system at Union Station to be able to get to anywhere they want to go to in the city very easily. After I finished this video, I also decided to go ahead and do some more detailing at the Island Airport and Centerville Amusement Park Island, just to the south, to make these look better as well. At the end of this video, I'm going to show you screenshots of the before and after, which will include these builds that were not included in this video. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and that you have learned something from it, and that it inspires you in your city builds and city skylines. If you are not already subscribed, please consider doing so and liking this video. If you have any comments or questions, please do leave them for me in the comments below.